back for another live stream. Happy for you to join us. We have lots to talk about today, just like we do every day here on the stream. If you've seen the thumbnail, once again, I always put the topics in the thumbnail so you can check those out. But a couple things we're going to talk about today. I guess first off, let's talk about what I watched this week. I watched a lot of things this week. I've seen bits and parts of The Fly throughout my life, and I knew that that was a pretty big deal as far as movies go. But I watched The Fly for the very first time. David Cronenberg. Wow. I mean, I understand why it's a classic. Like, I really do. That's a banger of a movie. I like the body horror aspects of it. I completely understand why it's a classic. So if anyone else here has seen The Fly, let me know what you thought about it because I think it's a really good one. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. What else I got? What about It Welcome to Derry? Is anyone else watching It Welcome to Derry? Because that is a show that I was really, really, really high on, and now I'm a little bit less high on it because, like, I like the horror aspects of it all, but the CGI in Welcome to Derry is really starting to get to me, and I'm not liking it. I think they're going a little bit too hard with it, and the thing is if you look back on it chapter one and chapter two, it is heavy CGI. Like, I don't know why it wasn't an issue prior to that with me, but the more I see this in Welcome to Derry, the more irritated I'm getting with it. Still love it. I still think it's very creepy, and I do like where they're going with the story and all that, but the CGI is just getting a little bit out of hand. And looking at it, we have four episodes into Welcome to Derry, and I think the first two are done really well with my complaints of the CGI, right? I just like what was the first one? The baby, like the baby thing that's flapping around. Um, in the first episode, I thought was done really well, and I think that the pickle thing, the pickle dude in the pickle jar, was really done really well as well. But that was a weird thing to say, really well as well. But there's something about the graveyard scene. I'm trying to like make it make sense to me in my head of why it looked so bad. In my head, it's Pennywise morphing the world around the kids. So like that's what I think is the biggest reason of why it looks so bad. But I think I'm just trying to make myself feel better, to be honest with you. Um, well, that's really my biggest concern of it is like, is everything that we're gonna see from the show gonna be CGI with what Pennywise is doing? Because like Pennywise looks great with all the practical effects, with the makeup and all that stuff, the prosthetics. Do that with other stuff. That's my only complaint. But I think I'm just salty about it. But let me know in the comments what you think about It Welcome to Derry. Like I said, I do love the show. I really like it. I'm glad we're getting more seasons, but there is just the CGI issue that I just feel looks terrible. And it's really disappointing when Pennywise the clown looks really good. And they can do it. They can make this work, but they're just not doing it. Anyway, let's see what another big thing is the last Ronin, or the Ronin Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie that was in the works. It's gonna be rated R. It was gonna be awesome, something different, something for I guess just more adults or just people that grew up watching Ninja Turtles and just want something different. That whole project has been canceled, and that's pretty disappointing because I think they had a really big audience there. Everyone loves the Ninja Turtles, and they had a chance to do something so different, but they didn't. And maybe we get this down the road when things, I don't know. I don't know when this will ever happen, if it'll ever happen, but that was a pretty big story this week and pretty disappointing, honestly. Like, that's something I would watch for sure. Um, Once again, let me know what you think about it down in the comments, though, because big deal. Let's see. And then the other big thing, I think the biggest news as far as I go and what I like to look up and all that stuff is the Lantern show, the DCU Lantern show being pushed back to end of summer 2026. Now, when I first heard that, I made a video about it. It was a short. Disappointing. Of course, it's disappointing because now we're gonna have a freaking year, essentially, almost a year, between DC projects. We had Peacemaker ended in what, October, and then we're gonna get Supergirl in June. So that's over half a year until we get another project. But one thing to look at is if none of these projects move, we're gonna get a cluster of DC projects, all very, very, very different from each other. But I do think once I like had time to like really reflect on the DC on Lanterns being pushed back, I think It's going to be pushed back to August. So we're going to get June, Supergirl, August, Lanterns. And I actually think Clayface is going to move. It's in September because Lanterns, if it comes out in August, it's going to be the episodes are going to kind of blend into when Clayface is being released. So I think they're actually going to push Clayface, which is a smart move, to October. Look back on this October. There was hardly any horror movies out. This is a perfect spot for Clayface. So I could actually see Clayface being pushed back a little bit as well. Whether that's a good thing or bad thing, I don't know. But another positive to this bad situation is that that's just more room for post production. If it's going to be a CGI heavy deal with the Green Lanterns, then cool. They have more time to fix all of it and make it look as best as they can. So it's not all doom and gloom. It's just a little disappointing because we've all been looking forward to that, or at least a lot of people have. And I just saw here. Has anyone seen Wicked for Good yet? I didn't get to go see it this weekend. I went to go see Sisu 2 or Sisu Road to Revenge. Pretty solid. I like that one. I was a big fan of the first Wicked, but I have not seen the next one yet. Let's see. But Wicked for Good smashes the box office in a record-smashing debut as holiday season heats up. So let's check this out. Wicked for Good is projected to earn a 3-day total of $151.5 million. So it's big, and it's actually the biggest debut in history for a Broadway adaptation. But I believe it's short of the biggest of the year. If it says it here, yeah. I think Minecraft made a little bit more. Yeah, 162 million on the 3-day opening weekend for Minecraft, 150 for Wicked for Good. Solid numbers. And I've been seeing rumors of a Wicked Part 3 being in the works. Did we not see this coming? It's funny because I never thought about that because I'm like, okay, they're just adapting the play or the book, or I think they're both. So they're gonna stop at 2. They're gonna tell the story and be done. No, no, no. This is gonna open up so much more storytelling and building that world of Oz. And why not? I mean, it doesn't hurt anything. Will they all be musicals though? That's probably the route they're gonna go. That's the route I would say they would go. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I mean, this one's gonna be a hit. Why not? Do more of that. I also see here that, and I haven't seen the show yet, but I hear it's a banger and I do need to check it out. The show From season 4 has wrapped filming. So if you're a big fan of that, look out for that. Also, not big news, but I mean a little bit. Lots of Game of Thrones news coming out this week. So House of Dragon, we already know we're getting season 3 next summer. So that's already done. It's wrapped, it's filmed. They just got to edit it. But it's been renewed for season 4. I've seen a lot of pushback on this, and I completely understand. If you don't know, they tell you the end of this story, for one, in the books, but also in Game of Thrones. There's a quick line and tells you how this story ends. So, I mean, we already know the ending. So that's one thing by itself, where this show could have been 2, maybe 3 seasons tops, right? Because how can you get invested if you already know the ending? But pushing it to season 4 seems like they're just milking this for as much as they can. And then the new show that's coming out in January, I always forget the name of it, but the Game of Thrones show coming out in, what the hell's it called? I'm looking it up. It's like the House. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms has been renewed for season 2, and it's not even out yet. Which that show, just based on the trailer and just kind of the concept, I like a lot. I really like that. Game of Thrones is a great show, and I think it's really unique in how it's this massive world, and you're following like 7 or 8 different storylines throughout the entire thing. I like that. But to change things up, just zero in on something, even House of Dragon is following a bunch of different storylines. And I don't think you can get away with that. But when you look at like just how big and how different each storyline is in Game of Thrones, zeroing in on like maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 people is probably the way to go, at least for this show. So that's getting a season 2 as well. George R. R. Martin also came out and said that they're working on sequels to Game of Thrones, as well as other spin-offs. So there's going to be no shortage of Game of Thrones. So if you like Game of Thrones, you're going to be eating good for years and years and years to come. I never got to see season 2 of House of the Dragon though. We went on vacation during that time and we just missed season 2. So we just said, you know what? Let's just wait and When season three is about to drop, we'll just binge it, and that's what we're gonna do. So I've been hearing a lot of negative things about season two. I was just like a setup to season three, so we'll see how I feel about it once I get around to watching it. Probably game or season three hasn't had like an actual date yet. I'm assuming it's gonna come out maybe June, right? June or July. So we'll check that out. Probably closer like April or May is when I'll probably end up watching it. Let's see. What else? Oh, I haven't watched this yet, but the Silent Hill trailer, the Return to Silent Hill. I mean, I saw the teaser for it, and I don't think it looks that good. Like it does. Okay, we all know that it's a budget constrained project, right? It's not going to be this huge thing that's like backed by Paramount or Warner Brothers or whatever. Like it's Scream Factory, I think, is doing it. So it's very low budget. Not always a bad thing though. Not always a bad thing with the low budget horror movies because we've seen that work very well before. I'm trying to throw the trailer on right now. Like, what is it going to take for us to really enjoy Silent Hill, the Return to Silent Hill movie? This might be a situation where it's going to be very, it's going to cater a lot to the like the fans of the games. Like this is, I think, based on the second game. So if you played the second Silent Hill, this one's gonna, really hit home for you. So this might be a situation where if you played the games, if you like the games, you're gonna be in, good hands. The effects look pretty good. I mean, at the end of the day, we just want to see the creatures. We want to see Pyramid Head. We want to see all of that stuff. So we'll see how that turns out. I will definitely go check this out. I always make, oh, it comes out January 23rd. I always make room. I always, not clear my schedule, but I usually take a horror movie over, whatever else is playing. So that one will definitely be on my watch list. Um, so that and 28 Years Later, Bone Temple will be getting in January. So that's pretty cool. January always scares me though, because that is where the stinkers typically go. There's been some good ones that came out in January. I always look back on Split. Split was a great movie, and that came out in January and really shocked me because, for one, it was M. Night Shyamalan, and those are a hit or miss. Sometimes they're fantastic, sometimes they're not. But that one ended up being really good. So we'll see what happens in January. I'm already kind of looking forward to that. I have been working on my list of like my most anticipated movies of the year. So that'll be out probably next month. I'm making the list now. I'll film it soon and have it out there for you all. But there's some good ones coming out. Like here, I'll bring up the list a little bit here. Like some movies that you kind of forgot are coming out next year. Let's see, Werewolf from Robert Eggers, his new follow-up to Nosferatu. First a vampire and now a werewolf. That one's gonna be cool. You got Clayface that we talked about earlier, and also Scary Movie 6. Like, how can that not be on someone's list that like grew up with those movies, loves horror movies? Like that is definitely going to be on the list. But keep a lookout for that video. It'll be out, I don't know, in a couple of weeks. Probably closer, like in December, maybe mid-December. I'll launch it, but we'll see. But what else is there? What else? What else is everyone watching today or like this week? Let's see. I rewatched Hellraiser on Hulu, the Hulu 2022 reboot. I guess it'd be a reboot of Hellraiser, and I actually really like that movie. Like I've seen it before. I saw it when it first launched, and I liked it a lot. And I went back and I rewatched it because I've been itching to rewatch it, and yeah, it holds up. It's I don't know if it's my TV or if it's the movie itself. That movie is dark. Like that movie, like physically dark. Like there is so many points in that movie where I turned, I closed the blinds and just tried to make it as dark as possible in the room. And yeah, it's just a dark movie, so it's kind of hard to see sometimes. But that's honestly my only gripe with it. I like the story. I like the story, and I like the designs of the Cenobites, and I like how they're kind of more front and center, but they're still like sprinkled throughout the movie. So when they do make their big, entrance, it feels pretty earned. And they're just so creepy. Love it. Kind of a shame that we haven't gotten another one though. That's a big disappointment. I wish we got that. If anyone's excited for The Odyssey, the new Christopher Nolan movie, they are kind of starting. like very lightly. The press for that, not the press, the marketing for that. They released like a few stills for it of Robert Pattinson. I know John Leguizamo, Zendaya. So there are those things out there. I don't think we're gonna get an actual. Well, who owns it? It's Universal, right? I think Universal is the distributor. So yeah, it is. So what's the Universal movie? That's gonna be their biggest movie of the year. No doubt. It's probably gonna be the biggest movie of the year straight up. But what's a Universal movie that they could release that with? Honestly, it's probably gonna be the Super Bowl. Like that's like prime Super Bowl. They're gonna play it during the Super Bowl, get everybody talking about it, and a trailer will follow probably a day or two later. But I haven't read the book. I don't know much about it. A number of people told me why I should be excited about it, and it does sound like something I will like. So let's check it out. Hopefully, it's better than Oppenheimer because I don't. I'll never understand why that movie was so loved as much as it was. But that's just me. Let's see. What else is there, y'all? I don't know if that was a hot take or not, but yeah, not a fan of Oppenheimer. Let's see what else. Who's excited for Stranger Things? Like that's something I'm really excited about. I went back and rewatched a few. I really went back and rewatched season 4, and yeah, that's definitely my favorite. Like season 5 has to do a lot, and I think it can do a lot to make season 4 my favorite. Or I'm sorry, make season 5 better than 4. Um, I think the low of the series is season 2. I don't think it's a bad season by any means, but when you just look at how good the rest of the show is, you have to pick one. And if I'm going to pick one, it's going to be season 2. Just not enough happens, I think, in it. And it doesn't really have that feel to it. Like, whenever I explain Stranger Things to people, I always say this show has so many, like, you can distinctly tell what season you're on based on the feel, the visuals, and they all just feel so unique. No, the second season, I think, is the least unique of all of them. I have a few videos on that. I have a recap of seasons 1 through 4. So if you are going to watch season 5, but you don't have time to go, because it's what, next Thursday? Less than a week away. I have a recap of seasons 1 through 4. Go and check it out on the channel. I also did a tier list of who I think is going to live, who I think is going to survive, all that good stuff. So that was a lot of fun to make. So that's on the channel as well. Make sure you check that out. There really isn't a lot of people on today. Where all the regulars at? Nah, y'all show up. You'll show up. Oh, another movie coming out in 2026 that I'm looking forward to is Street Fighter. My whole thing on this is Street Fighter is going to be either the best movie of the year, not really, but you know what I'm saying, or the worst movie of the year. But I'm so intrigued by like the cast for one, and then also the tone of this movie. Like, are they gonna go super serious like Mortal Kombat? Because that is not Street Fighter, and I don't think that's the tone. That cannot be the tone that they're going for. They're gonna go as goofy as possible and just make it a fun movie. And what's really cool about that is that they have actual athletes in there for a lot of the roles, right? You have how many wrestlers do you have? You have, I think, two wrestlers. You have a sumo wrestler. You have I don't know her name, but I think she was in Cobra Kai. I could be wrong, but she is like a gymnast, and I've seen her videos. She goes crazy. There's just a lot of really like known athletes in their fighting styles in the roles that they're in. So there's gonna be a lot of cool action in that. In theory, I remember I watched the original Street Fighter when I was younger. One of my favorite movies, and it was bad. Like, no mistake, that movie is a bad movie, but it's so bad that it's good. And I haven't watched it since I was a kid, but that is something that I do want to go back and check out because, I mean, it's so bad that it's good. All right, let me see what else is out. There really isn't much coming out next week either. I feel like, which is odd. Well, Thanksgiving is on a Thursday, so maybe that's why. Um, But it's kind of odd that there really isn't a big, massive release next week. I guess they're just kind of worried about Wicked, and rightfully so. I mean, like we just talked about, the box office for this was huge this weekend, and it's just going to kind of trickle out into the next week. So people that didn't go see it this week are going to go with their families on Thanksgiving, which sounds like a pretty cool. It sounds like a really cool idea as like a tradition. I don't have that tradition. Um, so I go see movies on holidays like that, like Thanksgiving or Christmas, stuff like that. How are you all feeling about Star Wars, like Mandalorian and Grogu? Like I just saw another thing here. My personal experience with Mandalorian and Grogu, I love the Mandalorian. Seasons 1 and 2 were great. I thought they were great. I thought that the quality of the show and how much I liked the show just went up as the first season was going and into the second, and just kept going. Season 3, I dipped. I dipped out on. It was episode 2 or 3, and I'm like, I something's off. Something is gone. Like the magic is gone. I'm not invested anymore. Like I don't know what it was about season 3. But I also heard a lot of people didn't like season 3. So maybe I'm not far off with that. And I think that making this movie was a wrong move. Like clearly they didn't have any Star Wars movies lined up. They clearly think that this is going to be their hit, and it'll be a hit for them, but I don't think it's going to be what they want. Star Wars is big though. So it could be a movie that makes 300, 400,000, which is a lot of money, but not to Star Wars standards, and probably the money that they put into this movie. But it could also make a billion. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Let's see. So, has anyone seen Rental Family that also came out with Brendan Fraser? Because that is getting some good Oscar-winning buzz. I am planning. I don't know if it'll happen. Going to see movies throughout the week is a little bit hard for me, so I usually go just on a Thursday night and see the actual movie that's dropping. But I do want to see this. I do want to see Rental Family. It looks like a nice, like, not breath of fresh air, but like a palate cleanser for me, because I typically lean into the horror or the action or whatever the hell. So I do want to go see that because I think that that's going to be probably a pretty good one. Yo, what's up? How you doing? Just talking about movies here. Oh yeah, and anyone watching, you got to check out Sisu if you like action movies. That was a movie that was slept on. I just watched it for the first time a few weeks ago. It's on Tubi. It's a banger. Very much like it. Also on the channel, uh, if you look at the community tabs, you can see everything there. But we have a movie club on the channel now, and that's going to start on December 1st. It's a Monday. We're going to do a live stream on the movie that was picked through the poll. And then going forward, we're going to. Oh, is it cracking? Thank you. I have a new mic, and I'm trying to fix that. Wonder if that will do it. Let's see if I brought it closer to me. All right, let's see if that works. But thank you for the heads up. Um, yeah, we'll see if that works. What was I talking about? I'm talking about something. Oh, the movie club. So yeah, we have the movie club coming out, and that's gonna be the first Monday of every month, and like the following one, like our first one's gonna be December 1st. So come in, stop by. The movie that we're watching, the winner on the poll in the community post was The Taking of Deborah Logan. We picked horror for the first theme on the last live stream last Saturday, so that's what we're going with. So if you're watching, it's completely free. We're gonna live stream on next month, no, December 1st, that night. I'll decide on a date and I'll put it in the community post or the time that evening, and we'll have a good time. I don't know if anyone here has seen The Taking of Deborah Logan, but that's the movie we're going to start with. It's a found footage horror movie. And by the way, all of these things, so the movie club's free. Okay, I just so we can all engage and talk about the movie that we all picked, but also the movies that we pick are going to be free. So check that out as well. It's all going to be on Tubi. Miss Caulfield, hello. We are just talking about, like, I'm just talking about movies. So that's what my channel's about. We talk about movies here. Um, we talked about earlier. Wicked's box office, of course. Lanterns being pushed back. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, the last Ronin, the R-rated movie that they were working on for years, that is scrapped. It's not happening anymore. And then I gave my thoughts on Welcome to Derry because I was really high on that show, and now I'm kind of dipping. Not much, but the CGI has really become a problem with me. No, I appreciate that. Hopefully, the sound is a lot better. I didn't know that. And the mic was a little bit farther away from me, so maybe that was the issue. I don't know, but thanks for the heads up. Let's see. I haven't seen the new one, the One Battle After Another. We were on vacation when it came out. So I didn't get to see it, but whenever it comes to HBO Max, I'll check that out. I hear it's great. It looks great. Um, if you've seen it, let me know what you thought about it because I do want to see it. Okay, perfect. So I'll keep that mic a little bit closer. My favorite movie. My number one favorite movie is Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. I was actually working on my top movies of all time list this morning. I just got the urge, so I started putting them together. It's on my letterboxed, but I like that's my favorite movie just across every genre. I think it's the best movie ever made, in my opinion. I also like The Thing. The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing is my favorite like horror movie. That is just another like masterclass in movies. Let's see. Hello, can you see my message, Clive? Yeah, I can see it. I did see Frankenstein. Frankenstein was great. Um, I wouldn't shut up about how I've read the book recently and just so I can compare them. But for the movie and what they're able to do in 2.5 hours, I thought it was pretty well done. I gave it, I think, on the channel a B plus. It was a B or a B plus. It's beautifully shot. I thought it was great. Some of the like the characters acted really weird. And I think Mia Goth was a little bit not a little bit. She was very underused. Her character was all over the place. So I actually had a big problem with her character, but I love her as an actress, so it's kind of hard to, nitpick. She's great, but overall the movie was good. I liked it. What do I like about Lord of the Rings? I like how cinematic it is. I like how cinematic it is. I love the story. I think it's epic. I think the score is great. I think that it's just a beautiful movie. Like beautiful from like a visual standpoint, but also like just what you get from it. The characters are fantastic, and going across all of the movies, the character arcs are crazy. Like Samwise Gamgee is like the best sidekick in history, in my opinion. They would not. He's the most important part of the entire cast, in my opinion. Like I think the it doesn't work without him. And then you look at the relationships between Gimli and Legolas. I think that's great. I think all that stuff's great. So I started recently reading. Well, I did read The Similarian, and that was rough. That was a rough, deep dive into the lore of Middle Earth, and that was something. But I also have a few other books I'm about to dive into. That's even more into Lord of the Rings. So right now I'm reading Project Hail Mary, which is that movie with Ryan Gosling coming out next week, or not next week, next year. The book's really good so far. So if you are curious on that, the book is fantastic. Watch Varanasi to the world. What's that one? I forgot about Godzilla and Kong Supernova. What is that? Till where did you reach? Let's see. So let me go back. So Godzilla and Kong Supernova. I thought about that movie recently. I think I saw a picture of what's her name? She was in The Last of Us, but she stars in um, Godzilla and Kong Supernova. And I started thinking about that movie and how long can they really drag this out? These two coming together to fight a thing. I don't know how much longer they got with this. Hopefully, Supernova has like some really cool ideas to shake things up and make me kind of second guess. Okay, they have ideas where they can go, so it's not just the same thing over and over again. The last one, New Empire, I was like hit and miss on. I wasn't a huge fan of that one. Really cool ideas, cool action, but other than that, I wasn't that big on it. So hopefully, the next one is awesome. Let's see. For Project Hail Mary, he just found a new. Well, I don't want to give anything away. He saw another ship. I'll just leave it at that. House of Dynamite. I have not. And hello, Jennifer. Let's see. I've heard of it though. House of. That's the new. Yeah, that's the new movie, right, on Netflix with Rebecca Ferguson. Okay, how did you like it? I don't. For a movie channel, I don't really watch too much on Netflix or like streaming. Typically, if there are big movies like Frankenstein, I did check that out. But for like not random movies, but just kind of more general movies, I don't typically watch them. But I am down to check it out. I've heard some good things on it, and the cast looks pretty stacked. So 75 on Rotten Tomatoes, not bad, not bad. I started The Woman in Cabin 10, but I never finished it. So maybe I need to finish that one too. Let's see. It's really great. Okay, maybe I'll check it out. Honestly, I love Rebecca Ferguson. I think she's awesome. And then Idris Elba is also great. So that gives me enough reason. And it's a movie, which makes it a little bit easier to watch, as opposed to a show. So kind of get in, get out, and hopefully it's really good. Let's see. So which place do you watch the most? European, American movies for sure. I typically go American movies, and then I don't really venture too far outside of that. But if I do, it's usually like South Korean movies. Typically the horror route, but I think they make some amazing, amazing movies. Like they just get it, and they have a really distinct style to them, as opposed to, well, I guess everywhere does, but that's the one that I really kind of go to if it's not going to be like an American made movie or show or something. So yeah, Woman in Cabin 10, we are about halfway through, and I don't know when we'll go back to check it out, but it seemed really cool. It seemed cool. It seemed very simple. I am still curious on what happens, so I'll have to check it out or finish it, I should say. Let's see what's coming soon. Yeah, who? So we're almost a month left in the year. What's been everyone's favorite movie that you've seen this year? It could be anything. It could be a movie straight to Netflix. It could be one that went straight to theaters. Like it could be anything. It could be anything. I was looking over my list, and it's crazy. It's not primarily. I don't want to say that, but there is a decent amount of variety in my top 10 list for the year. But horror is a good chunk of it, and I think we had some pretty good movies this year in horror. Let's see. I'm gonna see what else is coming out. Okay, upcoming releases. Anyone excited for Five Nights at Freddy's? I'm not a big fan of the games or even the first movie, but um, I have a recap coming out of the first movie. I saw the trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 at the last movie I went to go see, which was Sisu, the other day. Look, they have an opportunity here to right the wrongs of the first movie, in my opinion, because the first movie I just thought was cheesy. Like, there's nothing scary to me, and I want to be scared. I know it's PG-13. I know it's geared towards the kids, but you could at least maybe jump scare me a little bit. And the new one looks like it could do that. Could. So I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic. James, how you doing? All is going well over here. Hope you're doing good. Miss you, man. It's not the same without you. Yeah, Frankenstein was good. Frankenstein is good. I saw people. What was the movie? And it's not even like a worldwide thing. It's just I saw people fan casting him, for Guillermo del Toro to do an adaptation of something else. I can't remember what it was. It was obvious. It was going to be some gothic horror type thing, like he just did with Frankenstein. And it's interesting too because last year at the same exact time we got Nosferatu, which was very dark and very like it was just dark, but it was still gothic horror. And then now we get Frankenstein, which is not as dark in my opinion, but it's still gothic horror. Like which they're very different from each other. So I want to know which one y'all like, Nosferatu or Frankenstein. I'm gonna lean a little bit more towards Nosferatu because I do like Robert Eggers and his style. Guillermo del Toro is one of the best in the business, but I have to go Eggers on that one. Yeah. Oh no, no, I'm not in membership anymore. I'm actually in pharmacy. So I'm just over there just as a cashier. Like membership was too much for me. Absolutely too much. But I hope you're doing good. Oh, and then we're also getting Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair on December 5th. So same day as Five Nights at Freddy's, Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. It's gonna be like 4 hours of both of those movies put together with some added scenes. I think it's like the animated scene in the first movie. They're adding 20 minutes or so onto that scene. It's gonna be great. If you're a fan of Tarantino, which I know we all are here, that's gonna be good. Let's see what else is coming out. I felt like there wasn't that much coming out in December. So really it's for big ones, it's Hamnet, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Kill Bill on December 5th. And then December 19th, we get The Housemaid, which looks pretty cool. And I've heard the book is pretty cool. But we're also getting Avatar Fire and Ash. And that's like the big movie. Of course, that's the final big movie of the year. And I am so hyped for that. That comes out December 19th. December 24th, sorry, December 25th on Thanksgiving. God, I'm all over the place today, guys. On December 25th on Christmas Day, we are getting Anaconda, which I think looks good. I think Anaconda looks so funny. Like, and it might be stupid, and I kind of hope it is stupid, but I can't wait to see it. All right, James, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Make sure you stop by member or pharmacy so I can say hi. Let's see. Yeah, Nosferatu was awesome. I'm a Nosferatu truther. That movie gets a lot of pushback, and I get why it's not a lot of people's thing, but it's 1000% my thing. So I got to back that movie up as much as possible. And I don't know if you saw another thing that happened this week was there was some behind the scenes footage of Aaron Taylor Johnson filming the next movie, the werewolf movie from Robert Eggers. He came out of a hut because it's of course a period piece. He came out of a hut, shirt off, covered in blood, looking feral. So I'm guessing he's gonna be the werewolf. Probably gonna be the werewolf. Which I like that actor, Aaron Taylor Johnson. I saw him most recently, way behind, but I saw him in Bullet Train, and that movie was great, and he was awesome in that. Like he's great. I saw so you know the whole DCU Batman casting thing. I saw someone put his name out there, and I don't think it's a perfect pick, but if he was cast as Batman, I wouldn't be mad about that. Did you all know that there is a movie coming out and there's still no trailer out. So I can't see this movie coming out at all in January, but it's called Soulmate and it's a spin-off from Megan. It's already made. It's already good to go, but there's been no marketing on this. So I don't think that's coming out, which is a shame because I liked Megan. I liked Megan I even liked Megan 2.0 for what it was. I thought it was fun. Let's see what else is going on in the world of movies. Did y'all know that a Gundam movie is in the works? And of course, Sydney Sweeney is a part of it. I forgot that that was announced, but I guess now, and it's gonna be a ways away. It's probably like what 2028, 2029 before we see anything like that. But apparently, what's the name? Oh yeah, Noah Centineo. It's a cool name, but I don't know how to say it exactly right. He is in the talks to join as well. So we'll see what happens with Gundam if you're a fan of that. I grew up watching Gundam. Um, it wasn't my go-to show. Like Dragon Ball Z was my go-to show. But Gundam's cool. Like Gundam, they could do a cool thing with that. Um, I don't want to see Sydney Sweeney in there, unfortunately. I'm talked about how I'm just kind of tired of her everywhere I look. Um, I think she's okay as an actress, but she has too many hands and everything, and that's kind of wearing out her welcome in my eyes. But that's just me. Now we talked about earlier the last Ronin movie, the Ninja Turtle movie, the rated R one that got scrapped. That's gone, but they're still doing a sequel to that animated one that came out a few years ago, the Mutant Mayhem. They're still doing a second one of that, which blew me away that year. I didn't think it was going to be that good. I went into it with, not going to say a bad attitude, but I just didn't think it was going to be that good. Turns out it was one of my favorite movies of the year. The humor was good, the art style was good, the music was really good. All of it worked. All of it worked really well. But I guess they scrapped the Ronin movie and now they're going to work on a live action reboot as well, which, how's that going to work? And I think I think I read that they're going to go the route of Sonic. So, how Sonic works, this is how it's going to work with Ninja Turtles. To me, they found a formula that works with Sonic. But how many times have we seen that work? And then they try to recreate the same thing with a different property, and sometimes it doesn't work. I fear that that's probably what's going to happen. But that's going to be a little interesting when you have two different like film series going at the same time, same properties, but just I don't know, similar to the DCU and the Batman movie. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Oh, you know what movie I do want to see? And I completely forgot about it, but it comes out in January on Netflix, even though I was saying I don't really watch too much Netflix. Um, what's it called? Really, way to hype that up. The Rip with Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. That thing looks sick. That movie looks good. If you haven't seen the trailer for that, check out The Rip. It comes out in January, and it's about these cops that make a raid on a house and they find a bunch of money in the walls or whatever, which sounds like that other Ben Affleck movie. But they're cops and they're kind of, I think, taking some off the top and it turns into a big old thing. I believe that's what it's about. The trailer looks great though. So check that one out if you get a chance. All right. I'll probably be getting off soon, but if there's anything else anyone wants to talk about, put it in the chat and let's do it. What's this saying? Oh, also, has anyone heard about the acquisition of Warner Brothers? Right. So Warner Brothers is selling. We have Paramount, we have Netflix, we have Comcast, which is Universal, all in the mix. I've given my thoughts on this, but I'll give it to you, all of you that are watching right now. Don't want Paramount. I don't know why. Just don't want them. Their app never works on my TV, so I don't want them. That'd be a terrible scenario. Um, Also, Paramount's okay with like the stuff that they put out, but it's never doesn't like wow me, right? Netflix, I like, but I don't like their model of only releasing stuff to the platform and streaming 100%. They release stuff to theaters for like limited runs, but a lot of people, myself included, aren't able to see these things when they come to theaters. They're not playing near me because it's a limited release. Big cities, stuff like that. So it kind of screws a lot of people out of watching them in the theater. They did say in the latest report that they would release the movies in theaters. What does that mean? Does that just mean a limited release then straight to Netflix? I don't know. And if that's the case, I don't want that either. My 100% who I want to buy Warner Brothers because they're gonna sell. Like it's not gonna not happen. It'll eventually happen. But who I'd want to sell to is Universal. Universal for a lot of reasons. I think that they have a lot of great hits themselves that I would love to see kind of morph with HBO Max. That'd be an awesome, awesome streamer. But also for myself personally, I like to go to theme parks. I do it a lot, maybe once, twice a year. And the idea that Universal would own things like Mad Max, like any of the DC stuff, even the horror properties that Warner Brothers has is exciting. So that's my pick. That's who I'd want to buy Warner Brothers if I had the choice. But I don't. So we'll see. Let's see. So what's coming to the channel next week? I have a short that's dropping today. I'll probably release it after the live stream. You'll check that out. It's Stranger Things related. I hope you like it. But next week, not too much next week. I'll have to come up with something next week. But in the future, in the very near future, as in already ready to go, I have the recap of, like I said, Five Nights at Freddy's. I have a recap of Fallout coming out. Closer to that release, of course. Um, and then when Avatar drops, I'll do that. I'll do a couple different things. I wanted to start doing more plot hole movies, like plot holes in movies. I have a video up on the channel kind of talking about Final Destination 3 and the theory of the roller coaster. So check that out if you get a chance. It's a short one, but there's a lot of people in the comments kind of talking, going back and forth on it, which is why I like to do those type of videos. I just think it's fun just to talk about it and kind of see it from a different lens. And yeah, that's the thing why I like movies is because it's all subjective. I can go on here and say, what's a terrible movie? Venom. I can say that Venom is the best movie of all time. I'm not right, but I'm not wrong either. I don't think it's the best movie of all time. I think it's awful. Um, so I'll do one quick sweep of any more news that's coming out, and then I'll head out. But real quick, like I said, anyone else that's watching, we do have a movie club. It's a new thing we're doing every Monday. So December 1st is going to be the first movie club that we do. We're going to be watching The Taking of Deborah Logan. It's going to be on Tubi. So if you want to join, watch it before then, and then join the live stream that evening on December 1st. It's going to be great. Kentler experiment. Oh my God. What kind of project is that? No, thank you. Hello, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. Oh, nice. India. We've had a few people from India on the live stream recently. So, hello. Let's see. We're just talking movies. Yeah, anyone else have any thoughts on Welcome to Derry? Um, like I said, my issue is the CGI. Other than that, I think it's an awesome, awesome movie. Yeah, I saw what that experiment was. I typed it in, and that's uncomfortable. I don't know if that like I get it. It is terrifying. I don't know if I'll look into that. That's rough. What games? Oh, the PlayStation thing. I don't really play a lot of games anymore. I typically lean like I just finished Resident Evil 4, the remake. That was a lot of fun. Usually I play like Street Fighter or something. What am I looking forward to? Oh, it's not PlayStation, but Metroid Prime 4 is finally coming out next month. That'll be cool. I thought there was. Oh, and then Resident Evil. What are we on? 9? Resident Evil Requiem comes out in February. So I'll jump on that, but I don't really play games as much anymore. Oh, thank you. Thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. What games do you play? No, I can't show you the PS5. It's not in this room. It's kind of put away now. Like I said, I don't really play too much. Um, yeah, unfortunately, it's not in the room anymore. Which is crazy. The PS5, um, I was so out of the loop for so long, and now they have like the Pro, and they have, is it a Slim? They have a Slim now. It's crazy. And I saw the price of the Pro, and that is crazy. You want to talk about crazy? It's the price of the Pro. Um, let's see. Movies I watched recently. Let me pull up my letterbox. Well, like I was saying earlier, for the first time, I watched The Fly. Um, which is that 1980s movie, the body horror movie with Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis. That was definitely worth a watch. It's wild, it's gross. If you like body horror, if that stuff grosses you out, maybe stay away from it. But it's a cool one. I like that. I watched the new Hellraiser on Hulu again. I haven't seen it since it came out in 2022, but that's another good one. And there was one more I watched. Well, I watched Sisu, the new Sisu movie in theaters, The Road to Revenge. That was really good. I have a review on it on my channel. If you like action movies, that's a good one. I watched the original Sisu, which is only, I think it came out in 2022 as well. That's on Tubi. So all like a lot of stuff I watch is on Tubi, which is good because it's free. So yeah, of course. I wanted to give you one more, but I can't think of anything that I watched recently. Other than that, yeah, those are like the three most recent ones I watched. I heard Genshin Impact, or am I saying it right? Genshin or Genshin Impact. I heard that was cool. Not my style, but it looks cool. I'm from the states. I'm from the Southwest, so not a lot going on out here, but from the states. I'm kind of curious on that House of Dynamite y'all suggested to me. Um, oh, it's from Catherine Bigelow. Not bad. I also heard, and I don't know if anyone's watching this movie. I watched the trailer recently, and I didn't know I didn't really think much of it, but it's called Train Dreams, and that's on Netflix as well. It's currently at 94%. It it's a drama. They have big names in it, like William H Macy's in it. It didn't really look like something I would be interested in, but it's at 95%, like out of 147 reviews. So people are digging it. I might have to check that out. It just doesn't look like something I'd like. I don't know. But that's kind of so we're not doing this movie for the movie club, but that's kind of what I was talking about of why I like to do the movie club and why I had the idea to do it is because we're gonna pick movies, and of course there's gonna be crossover of things that people have seen, people have not seen that we vote for. But maybe you can find another like one of your favorite movies through this. Maybe I can find that too. So we'll see. And like I said, The Taking of Deborah Logan is a horror movie that we're starting off with, but it's not always gonna be horror. We're gonna mix it up as we go. I cannot arrange you any job in the States, unfortunately. Yeah, I love Lord of the Rings. I went on earlier this stream, I was going on a rant of like how Return of the King is the best movie of all time. So I just work retail. I work retail until this takes off. You know what I mean? Has anyone seen The Running Man yet? I skipped that one. Where did I go see? Oh, I went to go see Keeper last week instead of The Running Man. And based on what I'm hearing, I think I got the same level of joy out of the one I watched. I wanted to see The Running Man. I think Glenn Powell is awesome, but I didn't get to go see it. And then oh, another recommendation is Predator Badlands. If you get a chance to go see that in theaters, I thought that was awesome. See, and I never got to see the original Arnold one. I've seen a lot of Arnold, and I love his old movies, 80s, 90s Arnold. It's classic stuff, but never got to see that one. So, because I didn't get to see that movie, and I haven't seen the new one, I might check out the book first. Just because that's a cool opportunity. The story's not ruined for me or anything. What else is coming out soon? Yeah, so one battle after another. I'm gonna check that out once it starts streaming. I really wanted to see that when it came out, but just couldn't do it. What's coming soon? Oh, Eternity looks cool. That one with blanking on the name. Olsen. Blanking on the name. Is it Elizabeth Olsen? And then the new Knives Out is coming out on Netflix. The Wake Up a Dead Man or Wake Up Dead Man. That looks sweet. Wicked. I love Wicked, and I'm not even like when I say I love Wicked. I went to go see Wicked with my wife. She saw um, the Broadway thing. She knows the story, and I went to go see it. So it's something that me and her could go do together. I liked that movie. I thought it was great. I thought the music was awesome. I thought the story was great. So I'm a defender of the first one. I haven't seen the second one, so I don't know if they fumble it or if it's good or bad. I don't know yet. Um, that movie, just because once again, something me and my wife go do, we'll probably wait for streaming. Unfortunately, I really liked it though, and I was looking forward to seeing it. But I'll just wait till it comes to streaming. But as far as the first one, really enjoyed it. Like that, I feel like it's like the cool thing, not the cool thing, but it's like the stereotypical thing to say, "Oh, I'm not that into musicals." I'm not, but at the same time, I don't mind a good musical, right? Greatest Showman, one of the best ones ever. I watched Better Man, which is Robbie Williams, the UK singer. It's about him, but he's a monkey in this, and it was pretty entertaining. I liked it. Wasn't a big fan of the music, like across the board. Like some of them were good, some of them weren't, but that was another cool one I saw recently. The one that I do need to check out is La La Land, which I hear is great. So I do need to check that out. But it is pretty crazy how we are at the end of the year. Like we are almost in December and then we're done with the 2025 movies. Oh, Marty Supreme is coming out too. That looks good. I like Timothy Chalamet. I didn't like him at first. It was funny. There was something about the dude that just bugged me, and I don't know why. It's just one of those things. And then I saw him in Dune, and I was like, oh, okay, this is the guy. And then I watched him in Wonka, and I really liked him in Wonka. So now I'm a big fan of Timothy Chalamet. I think he's awesome. Um, so I'll probably go see Marty Supreme. I thought Better Man was something to do with Planet of the Apes. You're not far off. You're not far off. And I get why. Like I get the analogy of him being like a monkey for like the execs and like for people and he just can't be himself. I just don't think it works in making this biography. It's a biography about his life. Don't know why they made him a monkey full on. I could see him becoming a monkey like in certain scenes maybe. Very weird. Very weird. But I thought it was okay. I actually watched it in I was on a plane and I watched it there. So maybe it wasn't the best viewing experience, but I thought it was fine. Another show that just came out recently that I want to check out. Don't know if I will, but I want to check out is the Last Samurai Standing. That looks cool. That looks really cool. There's actually a lot of shows that are that I've like backlogged, right? Like I've never seen True Detective on HBO Max. That's one I definitely need to check out. I hear it's great. There's actually a lot of shows on HBO Max specifically that I need to check out. Did anyone here see Keeper? That's the one I saw last week, and I mean it was okay. I Perkins Oz Perkins is so close. I feel like Perkins is so close to being like one of the big names in horror that we're talking about. Like I'm a big Longlegs truther. I love Longlegs. The monkey was good. It was okay. First half was better than the back half. I think we can all agree with that. I need to rewatch it though because I want to give it a fair shot now that I know how I felt, and then going into it with that knowledge. But Keeper was just, I think, a little bit too slow burn, and then just didn't quite stick the landing of how I felt like satisfied. My biggest thing with Keeper was it with horror you can go two routes, and I say this in my review. You can go two routes. You can do tell the audience everything so that we fully understand what's happening, or don't tell us anything. They were right in the middle, which is just this area I don't like. Avatar 3 will pass 2 billion. Yes. I don't think there's any reason to think that it wouldn't. I mean, if everyone, or even if the majority of people that went to go see the first two enjoyed them, they're going to go see this one. Like, I'll be there. I love Avatar. Before I get like all the hate, I really enjoy Avatar. I think it's great. And I don't understand the hate that it gets. And it is like an event. These do feel like big events, spectacle movies that you should see in theaters. If you were to go and watch these for the first time on like a small screen or something, it might not have the same effect, unfortunately. Um, but I there's no reason to think it won't make 2 billion. And then there was a rumor, and if this rumor is true, it is flying past that 2 billion, is that the new Avengers Doomsday trailer would drop in front of that. So if that is confirmed and everybody knows that that's going to be there and it's not going to go straight to, YouTube and debut there, if that's the case, that this movie's flying past 2 billion with itself, with the trailer, all that good stuff. So, yeah, long answer, but yes, 2 billion. Luke, what's going on? Good day to you too. Thanks for stopping by. I actually really want to go back and rewatch Avatar 1 and 2 before the new one. Not like you need to. What I liked about the first two, so Avatar 1 specifically, I felt like they just drop you in. They tell you this dude's backstory in like the first 2 minutes, and you're just kind of, you're off. And I feel like that works. That typically doesn't work, but that worked. And then in two, it caught you up with what happened between the first one and this one. And I feel like no matter how much time has passed in this, they're going to throw us into it and it's going to be seamless. Or it could be very bad. But I just don't see that happening. Like, Cameron is the man. He knows what he wants to make and he just makes it. It's going to be like 3 hours and 15 minutes, though. So it's going to be a day. Make a day of it. Would you say Avatar 2 was too long? Not to me. Not to me. I think it was approaching that, but I felt like it was fine. I didn't feel the runtime. And I remember specifically leaving. So me and my wife isn't into movies like I am. So we go very sparingly to the movies. And Avatar, she likes Avatar, so we go. When we left Way of Water, we both felt the same way. Of that was what it was like 2.5 hours. It was probably approaching 3 hours, but it didn't feel like it. Like I was just engaged the entire time. Let's see. Every Avatar movie is an event. Exactly. That's what I just said. Yeah. Everybody's going to watch it, but they are not being talked about. They are not deep. They're not deep. They're not deep. And do you think that they could be? Do you think this was like a missed opportunity where Avatar could be a deep movie if it had better writing? Because I feel like it could. Either way, for me, I think that the story is fine. I think it's good. I think it's very serviceable. I think it's interesting. I think the world though is very interesting, and then the action is next level, and the visuals are great. So there's just so much there for me to really enjoy, and maybe that's how a lot of people feel, and maybe that's why these movies make what they make. I don't know. OG, what's going on? Just talking Avatar. And I don't know which one I like more, Avatar 1 or 2. I don't know. Because I think the first movie is very. It's so hard because usually what I would say is there's a lot of magic in the first movie, especially in a movie like this, like a sci fi fantasy thing where the world building is the most interesting thing. And they show you that. So going into Way of Water, you're like, what else is there? And then they gave us the water tribe and all of that. I don't know the exact technical terms. And they gave us enough there to further build the world. And now in this one, we're getting the fire people, and that's going to build the world out even more. So I feel like the thing that I like the most is the world building, and that's going to consistently hit. So where they go from three, though, I don't know if it's a rumor, if it was confirmed, but we might be going to Earth. So that'd be pretty cool. Where are you from? I am from the States. I'm from the Southwest. Where are you from? Matt Damon not taking James Cameron's offer was a missed opportunity. They could have been more. Yeah, I always forget about that. Like I completely forget that he was offered that, and not like he's hurting. Not like Matt Damon of everybody is hurting for roles or like iconic roles. But man, he could have been paid for years and years and years to come. But he is going to get paid pretty well. I wonder what he got paid for the Odyssey since he's the lead in that. That's potential, but they didn't capitalize on the emotions and didn't develop the characters enough. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Because they introduced the kids in the second one, so maybe they can head that way. Like that's the biggest complaint that I always see about Avatar is that the story's bad. It's nothing special, which I like it, right? We've already discussed that. But if they can go in and make this a very emotionally deep movie with the kids and really grow with them and kind of have this just a deeper movie with the dialogue, with the storytelling, with the characters, I think that would bring a lot more people on board. And in turn, and I love it when series do this, where the third or fourth one does something so significant and so well that it ties back to the first. And in what this event does makes the rest of the series before it even better. And that's what I hope Avatar comes to be. From India, we had someone else from India earlier. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I mean it's the same. It's the same bad guy every time. It's the general guy. So which he's awesome. Stephen Lang. I just saw Sisu, Road to Revenge, and he's the bad guy in that, and he's just always so good. Like anything that dude's in, Stephen Lang kills it. I'm not mad that he's back, but I am happy based on the trailer. Clearly, we don't know anything. I'm glad that he's in it, and it looks like he's playing a big role as far as the villain goes. But there's also the clan leader of the fire tribe. Her, she looks like the main villain. She looks awesome. So hopefully we have like a little bit of a double villain type of thing going on. Second one's way better than the first, much more character driven, similar to Dune and Dune 2. That is a great comparison. I love that. I love that comparison right there. Seriously. It took what made the first one work. Like I was just saying, they built this world out and gave us all these rules, but then they added to that in the second one and really zeroed in on what didn't work, in my opinion, which wasn't a lot because I like the first one. It made the second one work. So that comparison I think is fire. So use that whenever this conversation comes up because I think that's a really good one. Joel, what games do I like? I like single player games. Very big single player guy. The last multiplayer game I ever played was Dead by Daylight, and that consumed my whole life. And I just angry all the time playing it. But overall, my whole life, it's typically been single player games. So earlier I said I've just finished Resident Evil the remake. Finally played that. I'll be getting Requiem when it comes out. Street Fighter, never competitively. I just kind of play games, leisurely in between making videos and work and life. But I used to play a lot. I used to play so many video games, but not anymore. What about you? What kind of genre do you like? Or what do you play on? The enemy is, yeah, that's true. Do you think they're gonna? I was gonna ask you. Do you think they're gonna go away with that theme? But absolutely not. Like the humans are still coming back. Like clearly they're coming back. But I wouldn't mind taking a break from them as being like the main threat in this one, just so it's not a rinse and repeat thing where every movie in Avatar isn't distinct only by the setting of the forest, the water, and the fire. Like just a little bit more to kind of differentiate it. I don't play Delta Force. No, I do not. I feel like I've heard that name before, though. Let me look it up. I don't, but that looks cool. Came out about a year ago. I don't play first person shooters anymore. I played Modern Warfare when it came on the PS3, 360. Like I got it I got it for Christmas that year, and I was all over that. So I was like, that's when Call of Duty became the thing. That was a big deal. So I played Call of Duty for a couple of years after that. So I kept up with it every year, but eventually I just kind of stopped playing first person shooters. They're fun though. I'm just not good at them anymore. Let's say tomorrow the apocalypse starts and you're expendable. What do you say for next 2 years? What do you do? Jesus. What do you do? That's an on the spot question, man. I don't know. I don't know. What would I do? If it's airborne, I guess you'd have to go get those masks, right? You have to get like as much. But I don't know if that would save it. Not a scientist, clearly. Not a doctor, clearly. But I mean, the first thing you have to do is you always have to, just a bare bones thing, you got to get all the food. You got to get all the food, all the expendable stuff that you can. And to me, hmm. So my theory is like if it's airborne, do you go like how high does it go? Can you go and like stay in like a big tall building and hunker down there, or do you have to go underground? Because if it doesn't rise, you go towards the top of that thing, then maybe you're safe, maybe not. But if you go underground, you don't have any oxygen. I think you're screwed. I think you're screwed either way. Is there a movie or anything like that, or any other scenario, book, or anything where it is airborne? Because I need some ideas. Because clearly, I'm not ready for the apocalypse if it's airborne. The humans are coming back, but the tribes have beef with each other. The main guy and the kids are hybrids and don't belong fully. Yeah. See that, like, honestly, what you just put there, not to like hype you up even more with your ideas, because they are good ideas, but like that's compelling stuff. And I don't know if I want the tribes to come together to fight the humans coming to get them, because that does seem very um, predictable. So hopefully they do something a little bit different with that. But like I think that's cool. That leads to some good storytelling down the road. So we'll see what they do with that. Do I think Mummy 4 is a good idea? I don't know if it's a good idea, but I want it. I want it. I when this was announced, when it was announced, I made a video on it. I think I made it on TikTok. But I was like, I'm excited. Right. First off, I'm excited. But I don't know when that happened. I wasn't sure if it was like for real. Like I need more confirmation because don't get my hopes up for this. But then Brendan Fraser did confirm that he is coming back. I'm all for it. It's gonna happen anyway. I'm all for it. I love the Mummy. That one in the Mummy Returns. I watched that on repeat growing up. I loved him as the main character in this. It's hard to do because him and Rachel are coming back. But then what about her? Is it her brother? Yeah, her brother in the movie. Is he coming back? Can they capture the magic with just the two? And does Radio Silence make this a crazy, bloody horror movie? Because that's what they're known for. And I love their work. I love their work. I think they make some bangers. But I don't know how that's going to mesh. I think it's initially, I was very excited, skeptical as you should be because I've been screwed so many times. Honestly, we've all been screwed so many times with these legacy sequels that initially you're like, okay, cool, they're coming back. Everyone's coming back because they believe in this. Typically, it's a payday. That's what it comes down to. So I'm gonna stay excited, but I'm ready to get burned. Yeah, I mean that's the comparison. That's the comparison that's used all the time. Luke is Dances with Wolves, Pocahontas, and that's what I'm saying is I think at a bare bones thing, I think it's fine to copy that. I think it's fine to be very close to that because almost every idea has been used already in storytelling. And I say almost with knowing that there's still this much that people can do with it. So as long as he starts to form its own identity and kind of go in a weird direction, which once again, you loop back around to the first one eventually and it makes everything make more sense. It's better, it's more compelling. That's what I want. That's what I hope happens with uh, Fire and Ash. Time is 11:15. Need to leave at okay. Mummy 3 was meh as hell, absolutely. Like who remembers that movie? I saw it once, and as soon as they recast her, it took me out of it. So that's another thing with Mummy 4. Don't bring back anyone if you can't get them back. Period. Brendan being old and broken, I don't think he can still fit that character. I mean, that's another worry. That's another worry. What's another? I guess the example I was going to use was Tom Cruise in Maverick, but that's Tom Cruise. He is a robot. So he's not the same as every other person on the planet. So I don't know how that. And once again, how are they? Yeah, because it's gonna have action. It's gonna have action unless it goes more horror, but it's gonna have action. And I can't have Brendan Fraser doing things that are not believable. He can still hold his own, that's fine, but they have to morph it into a way that's believable. Let's see. Hopefully it's set in Egypt. I hope so too. And this timing, y'all realize that this timing of Mummy 4 announcing that is pretty interesting. Not like it's like on purpose or anything like that, but we have another Mummy movie coming out next year from Evil Dead Rise director. So that movie is going to be terrifying in theory. And I don't want, and this isn't the same scenario, but do you remember when the Omen, no, the first Omen and Immaculate came out about a year or two ago? They released, I think, within like a month of each other, and they are the same movie. They, like very close, extremely close to the same. So this one would probably be about a year, roughly. And I don't want it to be the same movie. So I hope that we get one with this one, and I hope the Mummy 4 is more in tune with the first two. I don't want a totally different thing from the first two. So Radio Silence needs to zone in and maybe get a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not doing the gore fest that they're so used to. But Egypt would be dope. Egypt would be sick. It has to be. Think about this. Think about this. The first two, well, the first one more specifically, is set in Egypt. The second one is London and then they go to Egypt. But the third one, like we just talked about, so forgettable. I don't remember if they're in Egypt because I can't remember, but like it doesn't matter. Like a mummy movie has to be in Egypt. And I was about to say, and it has to be a period piece, but I don't know if that's completely true. But Mummy 4 will be a period piece since it's going to be a sequel. So that's good. God, I hope that movie's good. I really do. If it's not, we riot. And it's yeah. Y'all got me nervous now because like it doesn't matter because the studios fund this stuff, and it doesn't matter if they want the best movie. They could probably make this movie for pennies, right? Pennies. We're all gonna go watch this movie. It doesn't matter if it's bad because they'll make that money back. I hope it's good. Do a Force Awakens style reboot and make it coherent with the first two. Maybe that's the route they're going. Because, oh, okay. If you remember this, let me know. In the third movie, is his son grown up? He has to be grown up in that movie. I think he was. I think he was a major part of it, if I can remember. Because I'm like, man, just focus on him. Focus on the kid. Or do they retcon three? If they can, yeah, do the Force Awakens style and just make this a few years after the first. I don't know what they're gonna do, but clearly they need to make this once again what these actors are capable of doing and believable because it is an action movie. But yeah, pass the torch, and make this work. The plot of Mummy 3 was flimsy and repetitive, borrowing too heavily from the first movie setup, which makes it very easy to forget. Because if you're just going to copy something, you better do it better. And that movie did not do it better. I feel bad talking about that because Jet Li was in it. But that's okay. He didn't know any better. Michelle Yeoh was in it. She has been around for a while too. This movie came out in 2008. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna take off here in about I don't know, like five or 10 minutes. I do have work, so I do need to get ready for that, unfortunately. But if anyone else is new here, just tuning in, remember we got that movie club coming up. I won't shut up about that, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We picked The Taking of Deborah Logan, so that'll be the movie we're watching. It's on Tubi, so it's completely free. Stop by the live stream on December 1st. That evening, I'll put out the actual date for it or the time, and that we can all discuss it, talk about it, and pick the next movie, which doesn't have to be horror, but it'll be on Tubi. That way we can all watch it. We don't have to be, miss out if you don't have HBO or whatever. Let's see. Speaking of Jet Li, I saw someone talking about this earlier. Do we have anyone right now specifically that's like a martial arts star, right? We had like Jason Statham's still working. So I don't know if I count him considering his prime was early 2000s, 2010s, 2015 even. We had Jet Li back then, and you have other people like Arnold and Stallone and Bruce Willis and all that stuff. Van Damme. Who do we have anyone right now that's doing that? Like I feel like The Rock was trying to be that, but I don't know if he counts for that. I never got to see Hero. I never got to see Hero. Um, or did I see Hero? I might have. Was that his comeback? No, that wasn't his comeback. He made a movie, I thought, that it was like a comeback movie. Um, Jelly. Oh, Romeo Must Die. No, that's not it. Cradle to the Grave. My favorite from him is probably the one. It wasn't the Forbidden Kingdom. I don't know. Maybe I'm just. I don't know. Unleashed. I vaguely remember that one. Cradle to the Grave. Kiss of the Dragon. I already said. I've seen a lot of his. I haven't seen a lot, but I've seen a decent amount of his. Okay, Keanu, The Rock, Tom Cruise. Yeah. So Tom Cruise. So Tom Cruise is kind of. I would say he's on his way out, but he's given us no reason to think that. The Rock. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Those three, I do agree with that. But my concern with that, it's not even a concern. It just it is what it is. When do they leave? When do they stop doing those things? And who's the new people in? So Glenn Powell is the first person that I thought of as well. I haven't seen The Running Man. What else? What other action movies in? He's in Maverick. He's in that scene. Not an action thing, but he. I don't know if you know this, but he's in The Dark Knight Rises when Bane goes into the like the stock exchange area. He like has a run in with Glenn Powell. It's pretty cool. I always love that seeing that in movies where you're watching something, you're like, oh my god, this guy's huge now, and there he is in a role that he or she super minimal. So I always love seeing that. But Glenn Powell, let me see. Um, I feel like no, I was gonna say Tom Holland, but I don't think that's it. I think he is specifically locked into Spider-Man, and I don't know if he's coming out of that. If we're being real. Who else? Um, is Glenn Powell like the biggest star right now? Oh, what's his name? I never saw. I didn't get to see this one. This is another movie this year I never got to see, but The Long Walk. Um, David Johnson. Like I feel like he's not there yet, but I feel like he could do it. That dude is great. He was great in Romulus. I hear he's like the heart of this movie of The Long Walk, so I gotta check it out. Tom Cruise's Oscar speech was perfect. Didn't expect that. I didn't watch it. I saw that he won, but I need to go and watch that. I don't like Tom. Okay, I like Tom Holland, but I don't know how much range he has. So, and he's not, and it's nothing against him. He's just one of those characters or actors where you see him and like it doesn't do it for me, right? This isn't a hot take, but like as an example, Jake Gyllenhaal is like one of my favorite, if not my favorite actors ever. Um, and there's just something about if I see a movie with him in it, I, I like it. Most times I do like his movies. So Tom Holland is one of those characters where I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if he has it. I really don't. Um, Nothing against him though. Um, the only Finnish film I watched, and it's not even a. Well, I guess it would be. Wouldn't it be Sisu? I think Sisu is. I'm pretty sure that's Finnish. I mean, it's in English, but I think it's a lot of Finnish. A lot of Finnish people worked on it. I might be wrong with that. So no, I'm gonna say no. I have not. Yeah, I mean, what I really because once again, I like I just said, I think Holland is locked into the superhero roles. Because if you look at his stuff that he's done outside of Spider-Man, there really isn't much to talk about. He's been in a lot of stuff, and it's no hate to him. Like I just straight up, I hope he succeeds in what he does, but I just don't have anything to kind of get excited about when I see his movies. Uncharted, cool action movie. That's not my Nathan Drake. That's not the character that I see him playing. He has a chance here with the Odyssey. He has a really big chance here to win myself over, and I think a lot of other people to see him and really branch out of Spider Man. The only problem is we have Spider Man releasing very, very near to the Odyssey, so we'll see. We'll see where that goes with him. But I think that's about it for me, y'all. Um, Once again, I'll be here every Saturday morning doing this next coming week. I'm going to try to get another video out, one or two. I don't know exactly what it's going to be about. I have a few ideas, but we'll see what happens. Um, Otherwise, I think we'll have to get a video out to y'all next week. So I'll have a video out next week, and then I'll also do the live stream. And then I believe that Monday is movie club. So I will see you all next Saturday. Everyone that was here, thank you for stopping by. Um, yeah, thanks for stopping by. I had a great time. And I'll see you next Saturday, Luke. Thank you. And hello, Nasir Boy 3. And everybody else, I'll see you next week.